Okay, back with another Sunday video. I was reviewing some information this week, a report from Cox Automotive, some very important info that I wanted to give to you guys working with us. So, drew out a little bit of a chart. Going to go over some tools and some things to master. But there's three numbers that are really important here, okay? First one is 96 days. 96 days is the typical buying cycle of a customer. It usually takes 96 days for them to make a decision on a unit. 21 days. 21 days is how long a sales rep typically nurtures a lead until they give up on it. And then 75 days. That means 75 days there's an active buyer that is not being dealt with. So your competitor can come in, swoop in on the 95th day and ultimately close that customer on a lead that you've paid for or been nurturing. So here's top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel. Top of the funnel is our responsibility as a lead generation company. We have our own internal verification process. We manage all the platforms. We qualify the customer based on the information that they have given to us on the form that they've submitted. Most forms with us or any other lead gen companies like 10 to 14 questions. And then we allocate the lead to the dealers that we're working with based on postal code or the regions that you're servicing. Now, once the lead comes into your system, you have your qualifying process, usually present an offer, and then close the customer. This happens in the first 21 days. Some really good sales reps get it on their first time, but usually it takes about 21 days to manage that lead until the rep gives up on it. So everything in the red here is that 75 days that I was referring to. And then hopefully, you get the customer back in, you've found a unit, you've nurtured them properly, and then they close on the 90 to 96 day range. Some of the dealers that we're working with right now that are typically doing, 200 to 300 leads a month with us, their referral business is almost just as big as their new car sales business on the lead gen stuff. So really important, deliver the customer, give them back into a referral program, offer some cash maybe for the referral, and then they come back into the buying cycle and it starts all over again. Most customers do research for 3 months prior to even initiating a conversation about a car. On used cars in Canada, it's 15 visits or 15 touch points where the customer is actively looking and then to buy. So 15 times before they buy. And then 78% of customers in Canada are using an active marketplace or a third-party site. So they're either using like Auto Trader or Car Gurus, being targeted by lead gen companies. 78% of them are doing their research while buying a car. So that's where you have to be like charismatic and strategic and build a relationship with that customer and be that person's guy. Because there's a lot of input from third-party companies and there's a lot of reps out there that are operating in this 75-day window that are aggressive, that can ultimately steal your customer. Tools to, your closing ratio is going to significantly increase if you're able to adjust the cadence of your follow-up with your customers. So after 21 days to the 70 or to the 90 day range, use tools like system reminders, right? Schedule it in your Outlook or your Google Calendar to reach out to those customers. AI agents are a huge one. There's platforms out there that work with dealerships that you can put into a system and they'll do the follow-up for you. BDC services, set reminder with BDC agents to hit them up and call them again. And then a manager's dashboard is always really important, where a GM, or whoever can look at the leads that have come in the last 100 days, what has closed, what didn't, and then the age that they're aging at. So those are some tools that you can use. And like I said, one of the things that you will want to master is your follow-up cadence. So make sure that you are operating in this window, following up properly. Attitude and education. Like, it's not always necessarily about hammering close the customer. It can be about educating them on a competitor or another brand that they're looking at, or another retail shop that they're looking at. Educating them on like what you do as a service and why they should kind of work for you. And then figure out a way to have a high level of output. So AI agents is a very high level of output. You know, these guys don't get hungover. They don't get sick. They're not tired. They can work 24/7, and they can work 15, 20 customers at a time. So consider this when reviewing closing ratios. You're going to be able to significantly increase your business operating outside of the 21 to 90 day range, and then initiating a proper referral program to get those leads referred out back into the sales cycle. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you very much. See you on the next one.